Well, hello again, everybody. A few minutes late. Hey, that never hurt anybody. We can live with that. I'm Ted. He's Josh Karty, and Las Vegas Chris is hoping to join us shortly. A lot of this, the start of the show, we're going to talk a little bit about Ron. Ron A. Sports is and been going with some health issues, unfortunately, lately. So he is not going to be joining us for the rest of the season. But there's Ron up there in the right-hand corner. And we wish him well. I know he'll eventually be watching this show, whether he's watching now. You better be watching, Ron, or I'm going to be all over your case. And I see Chris is here, or at least he's trying to join us. There he is. Hello, Chris. Can you hear us and see us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you great. And Chris, this is Josh. Josh, that's Chris. I'm used to be Ted.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, Chris.
Anyway,
I'm improvising. I apologize. I have no home internet, so I'm working off a phone.
Yes, and you, we just found out Chris has a company called Joe's Wi-Fi. So I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, so everything good now, Chris? We could see you. That's all that matters.
Let's just hope the connection lasts.
Okay, and you're cutting off your head right now, so the top of your head looks like you're in a bad B movie from the 50s. There you go. Much better.
Okay.
All right, guys. We're going to talk about, obviously, the divisional round playoffs down to the final 8. But I want to get more on what's going on in the life of Josh Karty, because, Josh, you're a busy guy, even though your season is officially done. Talk to us about your situation. You were waived by the Rams late in the season, picked up by Arizona, did not play in any games, but you're on their practice squad. Now, their PR department told me you are good to go next year, but now they don't have a head coach. So what's going on over there? Let us know.
Yeah, no, I know pretty much just about as much as you do.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I haven't really heard of anything in particular. Just,
okay.
It's a long off season now, so I
Yeah.
think they have a few bigger fish to fry before they make any decisions about me. But I'm here. I'm with the Cardinals, and it's a great opportunity, and I hope I get a real opportunity to flourish.
Yeah. Now, because Jonathan Gannon's gone, do you think it's a GM's decision anyway, or it depends on who he brings in and they'll end up talking about it?
If I had to guess, and what I want to believe is that it was the GM's decision.
Okay.
Just because, if you said, you kind of heard that, they kind of brought me in to, compete for next year, then
right.
That probably would have been more of a long-term decision than from a head coach who's not there anymore. So
sure.
Kind of what I'm theorizing. But,
yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm going to go where I'm told, go where I can. And right now, that's the Arizona Cardinals, and I hope to have a great, career here. And
yeah. I can think of worse places too, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean,
look at all the golf courses.
This is the whole season in general didn't go quite how I expected, quite how I wanted. There were many factors, many variables, some within my control, some without some out of my control.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into too many of the details, but altogether, just not a lot of fun last year. And I'm just in a place now where, I can go out, I can, try and execute my job and have fun.
Yeah.
And,
and make a good living.
Be myself. Yeah, exactly.
That helps too, of course. And you're back at Stanford right now. So what kind of classes are you taking? You finishing up a degree?
Yeah, I'm finishing up my master's in management science and engineering, which is
good.
For all those non-Stanford listeners out there, it's basically a business and math degree kind of combined together. There's no quote-unquote business degree in the undergrad or master's here.
Okay.
So it's pretty much the closest thing I could get to that after my computer science undergrad.
Got it. And for those who don't recall, we've had Josh on the show a few times via either video or audio from my interviews with him. And it all started because of Ron. That's the guy who's not here today, Josh. He's the one that said, Rams have to pick Josh Karty. He's perfect for them. He's the best kicker in the nation. And then I started following you, and then I introduced myself, and here you are on the show. So that's the Ron we were talking about originally. So
Gotcha. Yeah. No, I mean, it was great meeting you. I always had someone to talk to in the locker room after the games.
Yeah, I wish I could have helped you out more.
Uh,
I was on your side, though. I did talk to the coaches about you a few times.
Come on, man. No, I'm just playing. What's done is done, man.
I know. You do the best. Hey, life is a 4-letter word. I've told you that before. Exactly. Never forget that. You got no guarantees. You got any questions for Josh before we go on to the games? And we're going to hear from Rams Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford, Devontae Adams, and Kobe Turner, who I all spoke with yesterday at practice. Would have gone today, but this show was a priority. And for my other one-on-ones, you can go to my YouTube channel, which is Touching Greatness. I'll have DBs Kobe Durant and Cam Curl, a right guard Kevin Dotson, and center Coleman Shelton, which are all probably still incredibly good friends of Josh Karty, right, Josh?
Absolutely.
Good guys too. You had a pretty good roster of guys.
That was one thing I was really excited about when I got to the Rams, was just the quality of person, in the locker room and just in the building too. And that was my only experience at the time, and I wanted to be similar to, the locker room in Stanford, and I was really fortunate for that to happen. And then what I figured out in the last 2 weeks of the season is that the Cardinals also has a very similar locker room.
Good.
Not to mention they have 3 other Stanford guys, so it's kind of like a Stanford locker room too.
Good. Let's bring Chris back, since he's having issues next to the palm tree in his backyard over there. It's a beautiful sun you got. I hope you got some sunscreen on there, Chris.
We have to take advantage of it when we see it. But I played a lot of soccer, and I remember the first time I attempted to kick a field goal, and I thought it would be far easier than it was, and I was surprised at the difficulty level. It was just to make a short chip shot, and I've always respected what you guys have to do out there. I'm just curious at how successful you are at being able to tune everything out and just stay focused. How do you do that successfully? And does that waffle from kick to kick, or is it pretty consistent?
Yeah, I mean, we're all human. It's not like we're robots out there. Yeah, exactly. We try to be, as much as we try to be. But, I would say for me, it's always just like focusing on the task at hand, focusing on my task at hand. Like, what do I need to do to accomplish what I want with this kick? And I mean, the thing is, like, you can do everything almost near perfect, and the results still might not, be exactly what you want. But 99 times out of 100, it should. So I try to control what I can control, and that's the process. It's essentially trusting the process, going out there with about 2 cues that I want to focus on, and just trying to execute those and make the kick feel good.
How important was the rule change with being able to prepare the balls ahead of time?
Oh, yeah, gosh. I mean, for me, I really didn't notice much of a difference anyway. I think the balls from last year and the year before were already really, really, really good. Guys were already hitting really far field goals. I think, it definitely doesn't hurt. I think, maybe some places have kind of figured out how to break in the ball really well. I'm not sure. But I think what you're seeing also is just more opportunities for kickers to go out there and try some long ones.
Yeah, at the beginning of the season, there was a overabundance of blocked field goals, and some were saying that it was people figuring out the tells of either the person hiking the ball or the holder, because they would repeat a certain action at a certain point, and that's what was giving people the lead time to get across the line. Did you guys discuss that at all? Make any changes? What was the awareness of that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's been the case for kind of as long as field goals have been a thing. If I had to guess, is that the snapper, holder, kicker have cadence, and they might switch it, but at the end of the day, there's a cadence, and it's possible for someone to jump the gun basically and get a great start. to try and block the kicks. But yeah, no, if I had to guess just in general, because I did have a few blocked early on in the season, I think that the guys trying to come and block the kicks are getting bigger and faster and stronger every year. You're not having, I don't know exactly what it was like 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago, but there's pretty good athletes on the other side of the ball that are, trying to, get penetration and then jump and bat that ball down. So that's one reason for it. I think, the quality of the field goal block unit has gotten a lot better. And then obviously, with more longer attempts, you're going to have probably on average a lower ball trajectory.
Yeah.
So that probably plays a factor in some of it too. And then, yeah, I mean, it does this, and I'm just spitballing here, but it does seem like, maybe if a special teams coordinator had an orchestrated field goal block lined up, and wanted to be like more aggressive, it's possible that they could try and jump the gun on the cadence more often than not. But oftentimes they don't do that because they don't want to, get a penalty and give a free set of downs to the other team, because that would not look good in the head coach's eyes.
Yeah, I think that oftentimes they were finding that there was a hand movement or some sort of a head movement, some sort of a movement on the placeholder or the guy that holds the ball, and boy, that's selling you under the down the river if he's giving you away.
The thing is, even if they get a great jump on the ball, and you're usually talking about the edge guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
because the edge guys weren't really the ones who were blocking most of the field goals. It was the interior. So I think if it were the edge guy who was blocking a lot of the kicks, I would say you're right, and I would say it's more of a timing issue. But it was a lot of penetration on the defense, and it's probably some slower op times than decades ago, I would assume, and then probably a combination of a couple lower ball trajectories on average, with the longer kicks being more and more common. So that's what I would kind of attribute it to.
Yeah, and of course the guy who blocked your kick twice in Philly was the same guy whose arms were longer than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, it looked like, right? I mean, that's truly a part of the equation.
No, it is. Yeah, I mean, if you put him in a field goal block defense 20 years ago, I think he would build up quite a reputation.
Oh, exactly. He'd be a Hall of Famer just for special teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So yesterday at practice, Josh, I ran into who I see fairly regularly out at the games, Kurt Sandoval from Channel 7 here in L.A., who does all your games. He wanted me to say hello to you. And he told me he kicked field goals in high school. And we talked about how sometimes people don't think of, I guess there's 4 phases. Do you agree with this? There's the snap, the hold, the kick, and then obviously the O-line's got to do their job. Is that pretty much the way you look at it?
Yeah, pretty much. All of that, and then altogether the op time too, which is kind of a combination of the snap, the hold, and the kick. But really, that's on the kick, I guess. But yeah, I mean, those are basically, if you have a good snap, good hold, good kick, and good protection, you should make every field goal.
You would hope. Okay, so so give us a 1-minute kicking clinic. Okay, so Kurt said when he kicked, and he has talked to a lot of kickers since he did that in high school, that the plant foot should be, once it's down, should be aimed directly at the middle between the 2 goalposts. Otherwise, if it's leaning a little left or a little right, that might be where the ball leaks. Do you agree with that?
In general, yeah.
Okay.
On average, yes. Every guy's built a little differently.
Yeah.
Like,
and we're comparing it to golf too, by the way,
right.
If you're out of alignment, right?
Exactly. So everyone's got a little bit of a different swing. Everyone has a little bit of a different anatomy. But for the most part, you want your hips square on contact. And if your hips are square on contact, that means that your left foot is probably pointed right at the target. And that's pretty true, except some guys are pretty duck-footed when they normally walk. So if their hips are square, their foot might be pointed out wide, or the opposite, pigeon-toed. If their hips are square,
right?
You got an icy.
Oh, I freeze my Slurpees.
Big gulp.
He's a Slurpee guy. That's my next
I'm a
career, by the
Slurpee
way.
guy.
I'll be serving Slurpees at 7-Eleven after I'm done with these shows. But go ahead.
You got to be in Vegas to do that. And yeah, and so it's, a little bit based off of anatomy. So
Okay.
you can correct things too. Like if you told me to point my foot 90 degrees to the right and still try to make a kick, like I'm sure I could most of the time.
Right.
It would be really difficult. But yeah, in general, that's an indication of, your body positioning not being in the right spot.
Yeah, and I would assume you'd want to be the exact same, I guess, angle every single time if you could, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want anything. That's why people don't think about if a guy's foot slips, that you're in big trouble. I mean, and now you're adjusting. It's like a bad backswing on your golf, and all of a sudden you got to adjust in mid swing. Not easy.
I'd say it's almost even more. It's like
really,
if you slip, like the ball's moving in relation to you.
Okay, got it.
Right. If you think about it like that, you're almost hitting a moving target, and you're not in the right positioning to hit the moving target.
Okay.
So it's almost two things in one. So it's like you're swinging back in your golf swing and you slip, and you're literally in a different spot than you were before.
Got it.
And you're trying to compensate for it.
Okay. Well, I took a video just for you because not knowing and for the viewers, not knowing if you had seen the Monday night game. Did you watch the end of the Monday night game, Pittsburgh and Houston?
Pittsburgh and Houston? No, I did not. That was kind of a blowout, wasn't it?
Yeah, right. Well, a lot of people probably left before this kick. This was the end of the game. And I'm having some video issues, so I hope it'll play. It keeps freezing. Let's watch the kick, and I want to get your feel for what happened, okay? It was a meaningless extra point.
Okay. Yeah, I saw the stats. And I watched it.
That was not not a good kick.
That's Eli and Art and Peyton Manning talking.
Hard to do.
And not get blocked. It's like, yeah. I didn't take
not get blocked. Watch this. Watch this.
The knuckleball.
It didn't even get to the crossbar.
I had not seen that
Missed an extra point is short.
All right, what's next?
Yeah, it looked like you.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's pretty weird, isn't it?
He made, was it 3 field goals? No, 2 field goals. He made 1 field goal that game, right? Yeah, 1 field goal.
I'm not sure.
He made his other extra points.
That's Fairbairn, who went to high school right around the corner from me here in the valley, but he's a UCLA guy.
But I thought you meant high school. He went to Punahou, I'm pretty sure, in Hawaii. Or he went to a school in Hawaii.
I thought he came to L.A., went to high school, and then he went to UCLA. Maybe you're right. But anyway, he lived out in the valley.
I was actually in class, and the TA in my class said he went to high school with Kaimi. He told me that today.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Chris, can you hear us? Because your picture is gone. Okay. I don't know where Chris's picture went, but I'm going to remove it.
In Chris's defense, and part of why we were late today, I had no Wi-Fi or connection myself, and I had to kind of scramble.
Right, and I think that's Verizon related because I mean, literally, I'm a T-Mobile unfortunate character, and I got text yesterday and today from them saying if you're trying to reach somebody on Verizon, there's a chance you might not, and that's been going on since yesterday. So I don't know what's going on nationally. It's not just local. Anyway, so we'll get to that. So, did you see anything at all in that kick that you could tell why that might have happened?
Honestly,
that was weird.
The video quality, it was slow motion. I was able to see it, I think, but I didn't notice anything that was a red flag, except for the kick itself. The ball contact, I guess, didn't look great.
No, I think he got more dirt before the ball. That's what it looked like.
Oh, I couldn't see the dirt part. I think my video was a little laggy, but it looked like, he was high on the ball one way or another. Right. So it was kind of like a squib, as we call it.
Squib kick?
Yeah, that's a squib, basically. When you squib a kickoff?
Yeah.
That's basically what that was right there.
Okay. All right. I think Chris is back. Here he is. Mr. Wi-Fi is back. Thank you, sir. So you heard us, but you didn't see us or something.
Yeah, I was. I heard most of that.
Okay, good. Anyway, we went over. Did you see that kick, Chris, on Monday night at the end of the game? Because most people weren't watching it 30-6. I'm the only idiot who was.
Yeah, well, they and it changed the who won the over under too. So
it did. Okay.
Yeah.
That point?
Of course
Yep.
it did.
Oh, that's incredible. I didn't even know that. Whatever. I give up.
Only the bettors were watching that late.
Exactly. And of course, Chris has never been a bettor, so that wouldn't have been him. Anyway, but seriously, folks. So let's talk about this weekend's games and get into the schedule a little bit. One thing is for sure, and by the way, there's me interviewing Josh in front of his locker last year with the Rams logo on the thing, and I always appreciate his screen. There you go. That's a screenshot, exactly. The same thing, and I took a picture of you kicking in warm-ups so people could know what your style looks like. And because I figured I'd get you on the show between now and the next 10 years, and that's us during a video thing that I just screenshotted again. Anyway, let's go to the schedule of games here, because I think it's just a very fascinating thing, from who's playing who, because just the fact that on Saturday, and let me get this thing here. Hold on a second.
You're gonna have to catch me up a little bit on these.
That's all right, no problem.
On the bracket, because I didn't follow the actual bracket, how it changed.
Okay, so Saturday we've got Buffalo at Denver. Okay, and Chris, we've talked about this all season long, how Buffalo is just figuring out crazy ways to win, and maybe without Josh Allen, they might have 4 or 5 wins. I mean, that's the way I look at it. What do you think, Chris?
Well, they're doing it with duct tape and WD-40 at this point, only being able to field 3 receivers this week.
Yeah, exactly.
Plus some other situations. So, that's the case with San Francisco too. So, some of these teams, when they play desperate, they get more focused. So,
yeah.
Buffalo stepped up their game in the final half of the season, or at least the final quarter of the season. So you have to take them seriously. And there hasn't been a number 1 seed that's won the Super Bowl since 2017. So this number 1 seed is not necessarily an advantage, as much of an advantage as you would think. We saw Detroit get schooled last year. I forget what the other side of that bracket, the AFC side was, but these guys are pros. They're going to come to play, and Denver's going to be a little rusty, probably. Bo Nix is, he's got his ups and downs. He's inconsistent. I listened to Greg Cosell this morning on shows, kind of, trip over his tongue, trying to politely say, I don't know what we're going to get out of Nix because he's too inconsistent. So,
well, I know what we get out of Nix. We get a very strange first half and a great fourth quarter usually.
Yep, and that's a good sign.
If they're close,
it's a good sign. It is.
I'm wondering, Josh, what do you think about a guy like Bo Nix, another second-year guy like yourself, and what it takes now? You, as a kicker, you're not in the quarterback mindset, but to think about what he has to basically not only observe but put into his entire body of work at a second-year level, and say, okay, now I'm going for a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know. I'm speaking first off pretty much as a casual fan. I don't really know much about actual
no problem.
ball.
That's great.
I tell you a lot about special teams, but I played against him when he was at Oregon. That would be my senior year, I think.
Okay.
I believe in college, and I know in college at least he was known for throwing a lot of short passes and getting a lot of passing yards, which they did against us for sure. But yeah, no, I mean, I think that the Broncos have been a very good team this year, but I think this really is I heard a reporter talking about it like a month ago or so, but I think this is the do or die year for the Bills, basically. I mean, they've
Yeah.
been in contention for so long, and it's finally a year without the Chiefs, and so they have by far, I think, the most experience in the playoffs and on that AFC
I think.
side, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I wanted to ask you what do you think the odds are that you would run a pass when you're set up for kicking a field goal? How prepared are you for that?
I'm 100% prepared if we scheme it for the week,
If they allow you to, right?
and 0% prepared if we don't scheme it.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. And how many times have they schemed for you
I don't
then?
know. I can't tell you. Can't
In
give
college
away
and pro?
series. In high school, I caught a 2-point conversion. I'll tell you that.
Nice.
That's great.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That was in Carolina?
Yep. That was in
Outstanding.
Carolina 3A football against Northern Guilford.
Okay, so were you highly recruited out of high school?
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
I went to the Colts kicking national evaluation camp. They do the ESPN 24/7 rankings.
Right.
They're recruiting, so I was able to be the number 1 kicker coming out the high school class of 2020, and so I had some big time offers like the likes of Georgia, and UNC, and then as soon as Stanford offered, I basically pulled the trigger.
Yeah, and there's a little family connection there too, right?
Yeah, my dad he got his PhD here in 2001.
At Stanford. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That's where he's at now, Chris. If you missed the beginning of the show, I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Okay, good. So, all right. So, bottom line is, Chris, what do you think of the spread as far as the game is concerned, the Buffalo Denver game, and where you stand on that number? Is it close to your figure?
Yeah, I mean, Josh hit it on the head. Basically, Buffalo has all the pressure on them, and there is some pressure being the number 1 seed and showing up. But I think Peyton will have them prepared. You've got the altitude issue. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think that it serves both teams to want to have fewer possessions and stretch out the game.
Right.
Or shorten the game, I mean. And my number
if it serves both teams, then it also serves neither team.
You could say that, yes.
You know what? You and your Stanford education.
That's beautiful.
Stop using logic with us.
Yeah, this is a totally illogical show. You should know that by now, Josh. Anyway, you have a side there at all, Chris, or no?
Yeah, my numbers come out with Buffalo favored by 1 with the injury situation and the rest factor. Let's not forget also last year these teams played each other and it was a 31-7 blowout. So I'm sure that Denver has fond memories of that and are preparing accordingly. So I think this game is a real toss-up. I think it's a great game to tease either way. I think it'll be a game within a touchdown. And that's about all I can say on it. I like the under. I bet the under 46.
Okay.
And
to me, if Josh Allen wasn't in this game, I would have very little interest, but I am totally fascinated by what he might do in this game. I really am, especially with having very few really quality receivers to throw to right now. The guy pulls off miracles. He's really an amazing guy. Are you going to be watching these games, Josh? Or are you going to be out hitting balls on the range somewhere?
Mm-hmm. A little bit of both. Yeah, I'll be watching.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah.
And the next game coming up is a really interesting game. And Josh knows these teams better than both of us times a million because he's faced them both over the last 2 years, maybe more than even twice, right, considering. San Francisco, Seattle. I have not been, and I've mentioned it a few times on this show, Chris, I am not a Shanahan guy. I think he's coach of the year. The job he's done, along with Robert Saleh coming back from being a Jets head coach to their defensive coordinator, and the key injuries they've had and then the other injuries, and now they lose George Kittle. I mean, it's nonstop, and here they are, one win away from the conference championship. I think it's amazing.
Well, I think you have the inverse of the Buffalo situation. Shanahan's playing with, the house money at this point. The expectations are not high. Everybody knows the obstacles that they faced. It's the repetitive injury situation and the electrocurrents that are around the stadium. And I'm kidding about the electrocurrents, but they're playing with house money, and these two teams. I don't think it's going to be the same as the last game. Seattle was able to run it down their throat.
Yeah, that was
the last
2 weeks
game.
ago.
Yeah, and I think they'll be prepared. Seattle's going to have to get them a different way. And I don't know whether you're aware of it, Ted, but Drew Lock took the first team reps today.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, Darnold has an oblique injury.
Oh, I did not see that.
Yeah, he says he's going to be able to play, and I'm sure he will.
Okay.
But nevertheless, Locke is potentially going to be playing. How that changes the game plan for Seattle, we don't know yet. They'll certainly try to run it again because they were successful the last time. But I'm sure San Francisco is going to focus on them not being able to do that and making them beat them in a different way if they're going to beat them. And I think it's really important for a team like San Francisco to get out in front, not fall behind. I don't think they're going to be able to come from behind. Purdy probably is a good bet to throw an interception, but if he can stay interception free, then that's going to give them a much better shot, obviously. So they have to play perfect ball because Seattle's the number 1 seed in the NFL as far as I'm concerned, and the line is short at 7, according to my model.
Yeah, again, San Francisco just figures out a way to pull out games, and good for them. And you see Christian McCaffrey there. You know that name from your neighborhood up there, Josh. How amazed are you by I think he's the best overall, the best all-purpose running back in the history of the game. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, no, he's pretty amazing. I grew up watching him. Didn't grow up watching much football, except every year I would watch the Stanford-Oregon game. And
Okay.
I got to watch him a few times, and yeah, he's pretty special.
Just want to put it in his hands. Give us a little NFC West expertise that maybe we wouldn't know about.
Yeah, I think Seattle's going to win. I mean, that's probably not an unpopular opinion, but
no,
I think they'll probably win with whether Drew Lock plays or not. I think that they were winning. Gosh, the last time they lost a game was to the Rams, right? And that was by 2 points. 21-19.
Yeah,
right?
I was there. Yeah.
And before that, when was the last time they lost?
I have to look it up. You got that in front of you, Chris?
I do not.
Okay.
But regardless, they threw.
Obviously, they're playing well.
They threw 4 interceptions and still had a coin flip of winning at the very end.
Exactly. We talked about that week on this show.
Yeah, I mean, they're a good team, and I think even if things don't go perfectly well for them, I think they'll prevail.
First,
McCaffrey has had his troubles this season in the 2 previous matchups. He only had 3.1 yards per rush and 2.9 yards per rush. So they've got to find a way. For all the yardage he had and all his accomplishment this year, he didn't have that same breakout type run of plays all season long as he had in the past. So
right.
They got to find a way to get some big plays out of him. It'll really help him out.
Okay, I was going to mention the fact that the San Francisco run game has been basically non-existent over the last few weeks, but they're still winning because McCaffrey, they just throw to him. It doesn't matter. They want the ball in his hands. Isn't that pretty much it, Josh? Just give him the ball and let him do what he does.
Yeah, and in their first meeting, if they just didn't get a little unlucky with how that ball got tipped and intercepted and juggled, then they were right in it too.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what makes to me even more amazing what San Francisco is doing, because they've had no run game with one of the great runners in the game, and they still are winning games. Brock Purdy, by the way, 4-0 at Seattle in his career. And I like to look at sometimes first head coaching playoff game for Mike McDonald for Seattle. Maybe it doesn't mean a damn thing, but sometimes it does. Just throwing that out.
Pressure's definitely on them.
Yeah. No
Well,
doubt.
and they have Pete Carroll out there to kick off the game. The 12th man celebration, or
Really?
Yeah, they're bringing him in for that.
They bring him in because they might bring him in as the head coach at halftime if things aren't going well.
I don't think so.
Okay, I'm just checking. All right, let's go to Sunday's game, and when we get to the Rams, I got some audio to play, and then we'll get out of here. Houston, New England, softest schedule in the history of the world, or how soft is the schedule to you, Chris, that you've seen compared to other years?
You know, I don't know how Josh feels about this, but the difference between, when you're evaluating schedules, you only can play the teams that are on the schedule. And, when a team that does not have a good record plays very well, there's not much of a difference between these teams. You have to be on the ball. There's not a lot of room for errors. So you're playing, teams of professional players, and you can only discount their schedule so much because teams are getting up for a team like New England that has a, record like they do. And they won the games, and they did it in impressive fashion, oftentimes coming from behind or putting teams away, for the entire game. So they've done it in all ways. They've won it on offense. They've won it on defense. I believe they've been very consistent about winning first halves, so they get off to the good starts. They're so well coached. I think you really you can't over exaggerate the importance of the schedule, because you can only play the teams on the schedule.
Josh, have you faced either of these two teams in your career? I can't recall.
I played against Houston the first game of this year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. I do remember now. Okay.
Yeah.
Their defense is just ridiculously good.
Yeah, we only put up 14 points against them. No field goal attempts, so we only had 2 scoring possessions. And,
okay, it's coming back.
Still won 14-9.
Yeah.
But that was when they were missing a bunch of key players. I think one of the receivers, right?
Yeah.
Was out early in the year. And their defense was still good, but their offense was missing a few players. And when you talk about a team on a roll, I think that the Patriots are good, but I think that Houston should be the favorite in this game in my books.
Well, we don't know what's going on with. They've got a couple of players that got dinged up. Nico Collins, obviously, he still is not practicing. I don't think he's going to pass.
He's not going to play. If you saw the way he got hurt, that's highly unlikely.
And as much as I like Stroud, boy, did he have an awful game last week. And oftentimes you see
up and down all year.
Exactly. Oftentimes you see players rebound strongly in that type of situation. They won despite him. So I've been on Houston the second half of the season and caught them real early, noticing their metrics that they had turned things around. So, and when you have a dome team going out to New England with sub 40-degree temperatures, they're 2-15 against the spread in these playoff situations. So, it's not conducive for comfort for Houston. Houston's going to have to play very, very well, because I don't think New England's going to gift them anything.
No, not at all. But have you guys picked up this DVD yet? This Blu-ray?
I'll say I have.
These guys are on a roll, though. And I'll tell you what, I wish Drake May, who obviously is a MVP candidate, I wish him well against his defense. His line better hold up, baby. That's all I could say. What do you think, Chris, as far as the line is concerned?
Well, it has been holding up. The concern that I have is, they need to convert those red zone situations, because there have been times where they have problems getting it in the end zone, and Houston is not exactly a turnstile for touchdowns. So that's probably going to be the difference in the game is whether they can convert those red zone possessions.
Yeah, and let's not forget the Patriots sacked Justin Herbert a half a dozen times last week too. Now, of course, some of that is the fact that the O-line is just totally shot for the Chargers with all their injuries, but you got to give them credit there. And if they put the same amount of pressure or even close to that on CJ Stroud, this could be an embarrassment for Houston, because they won't be able to get on the board.
Yeah, here's something that something that's kind of unusual, because we had the perception that Herbert literally just had no time. I mean, they were in the backfield instantly on so many times, it felt like. But I was listening to a show, and supposedly Herbert had the most amount of time to throw out of all the quarterbacks during the wild card.
I've heard about that, but there's also there's a route running situation too. He doesn't. You got Keenan Allen, who's at the end of his career. He's not the same guy he was 5 years ago. All right, and the other teams have figured out how to take care of either the tight end or what's the other guy? The
Lad.
What's that?
Lad?
Lad. Yeah. So, and Lad, he's a smaller guy, so he's got to be doing this weaving in and out of stuff to get open. He hasn't been getting open, and if he's not open, they don't have a whole lot to throw to. And Oronde Gadsden is a rookie, and they tried to work him in as the weeks were going on as the tight end. But I don't know how much blame. You got a guy with a broken left hand in Herbert. I'm trying to be on his side. He's not been productive, whatever the excuses are in the playoffs. That's the bottom line. Are you
one of my other concerns, though, is I forgot about this. We went through their schedule, and New England only faced one top 10 defense the entire season.
Oh, I know. It's the softest schedule ever.
I mean, that's the only thing that's a little bit alarming.
Right. Yeah, so this is going to be really an interesting matchup, because it's like the stars are aligning for both teams. I got to face that team doing this, and I got to face that team doing that. Okay, may the best man win, but it's too bad Nico Collins is not healthy, though.
I know.
That hurts a lot. So bottom line for the spread there, what do you think, Chris?
The model says take the Patriots.
Okay. Is that more because they're home, or it's not necessarily okay?
No, I mean, it's not a huge gap, but I'm showing enough value to place, one of the few wagers for the week.
It's interesting to have value on the Patriots against the team that's won 10 in a row. I mean, when you think about it that way, it's a little weird, but I get it.
I do like I did play the first half under on that game. I think it'll. I don't think it'll start off fast, and I think it's going to be tough to score 24 points out there in New England.
Yeah, how about Houston, though? 13-2 since their 0-3 start. I mean, that's just amazing. That doesn't happen in this league. And Josh, what are you eating for dinner there? I'm jealous.
Oh, I'm just snacking on some peanuts.
Okay.
Don't be jealous.
Okay, you talked me out of it. All right, now let's go to the Rams game. Coldest game of the week. It's going to be freezing, literally way below freezing, about 15 degrees-ish at kickoff in Chicago at Soldier Field, where I actually did a game there once. I was a sideline reporter, but it wasn't that cold yet. It wasn't late in the season. Interesting. That town is going nuts. Have you ever been to Chicago at all for a game, Josh?
Yeah, I played there my rookie year.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
What was it like there in Soldier Field?
It was windy. It was windy for sure.
Okay, yeah.
It was last year where the Bears were very, very up and down, especially early in the season. And on the Rams, we had a number of guys out, especially on offense still.
Oh, okay.
It was a lot of slow game, a very slow game. We couldn't punch it in, and they ended up beating us, even though they weren't a very good team last year. But that was part of our slow start last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was a really cool stadium, though. Really cool place to be. I feel like it really embodies just NFL football.
And we're going to be talking about the weather here, obviously, with my interviews. And before we get to that, I want to know, how does 15 degrees and wind affect the ball when you're kicking it, sir?
Yeah, it affects it a lot. The 15 degrees especially.
Like kicking a pebble?
Pretty much a big pebble. 15 degrees probably takes off about, compared to like 75 degrees, I think 15 degrees probably takes off about pushing 10 yards on a kick.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Like unless you figure out a way to keep the balls a little bit warm, which is kind of illegal and a little bit difficult, I'm pretty sure.
Is it illegal, really? You would think they would do it just for league purposes.
Yeah, just for viewership. But no, in college, I know I had one of the ball boys. I tried to have him put the ball under his jacket, try and keep it warm one time when we were playing against Washington State, and it was well below freezing there as well. And the ref literally made me switch out the ball one time because he got it, felt it, and he felt that it wasn't cold. But yeah, no, I think 15 degrees, there's like very little compression on the football when you kick it.
Okay.
And it's tough to make 55 yarders, I would say. It's
separate from the wind, right?
Yeah, separate from the wind. I mean, if you have wind in your face, that's a whole nother.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, it's real. Unless you can figure out kind of a way to circumnavigate it. I would say, so I played at the Jets last year, and it was about 20 degrees. I think 22 officially.
And we're going to have your old coach McVay talk about that game in a minute here.
Oh, yeah?
That was cold. That was the coldest game of the year, he said.
Yes. Yeah, I was freezing. And if it was 22, but I'll be honest, it felt like colder. And I'm not a Cali boy, so I can't be kind of
I get it.
Pansy about that stuff. But
Carolina was a little pansy. That's all right.
Yeah, it gets kind of cold there every year, though, sometimes. And
that
22 degrees felt like 10, I swear.
Wow.
It was like as soon as you get away from, something heated, you immediately lose your body heat. And it was like dry, I think. Or I don't even know, but maybe it was humid. But
all right.
That one in warm-ups, I would say. In warm-ups, I was only hitting the ball, low 50s. And then in the game, I actually probably picked up about 5-10 yards. I don't know if it was just adrenaline or something else, but I'll tell you, that was strange.
And before I forget, because I don't want to forget this, let everybody know what your range is, Josh, because you told me, I think it was your last pre-game warm-up with the Rams. How far did you kick a field goal?
70.
Exactly. 70, Chris.
With no wind either. It was dead quiet.
Yeah, just think, if you had wind on your side, you could have kicked it 80.
Exactly. Elevation.
No problem. In Denver, 85.
Exactly. But
I love it. Are you paying attention, GMs out there? I just want to see if they're out there listening. Let's hear from your old coach McVay on the weather, and I got a question in on the prep work on weather.
You know how the actual just cold in general in terms of how the ball feels, but last year was a great example of, we had two really cold games. The Jets game was even colder than the Eagles game. It was too damn cold in New York to even snow that day. But fortunately, Matthews played in these conditions. And so,
I hear nothing.
It doesn't change. There's a couple things you have to be mindful of, but now you start talking about wind, rain, and how that really affects your footing, stuff like that. But we always kind of adjust and adapt. They got to be able to play in those same sort of elements. They obviously have had a little bit more experience, but we're not going to allow that to be an excuse. And so I think you do have to have a feel, but I think the way that our guys play, I think it suits us well in any sort of conditions, and that's kind of what we've always said.
Is there a different approach, though, the fact that you're practicing in 80-degree weather for a few days and then, boom, straight to that?
I don't think anything's playing.
What we're going to do is we're going to get the biggest cold plunge ever.
You can hear it.
for 3 hours. Here's the thing, and this is what I've been pleased with, is I think we've handled those things well. We're not going to sit here and waste our emotional energy on things that we can't control. I don't have a weather machine, stuff like that. We do have a lot of guys that have been accustomed to playing in these types of situations, whether it's previous teams or whether it be just where they played their college ball in outdoor stadiums. And so I think it's about, we talk about mental toughness all the time and really controlling the things that we can control. Let's be present in that 3.5 hour window. Let's control the things that we can control. When you're not on the field, stay warm, and then when you're out there, your adrenaline kicks in, and then let's be mindful of, all right, the ball is obviously a little bit slicker. It feels like a rock. But other than that, let's freaking roll.
Let's freaking roll, baby.
That's right.
And so, hey, Chris, sometimes I was told by StreamYard that if you can't hear the audio, it's on one of the channels that you're not listening to. So if you're able to pick up both channels, like on a headphone or something, you can hear it. Otherwise, you might be plugged in and the wrong channel is being blocked on your thing.
Apologies for interrupting.
No, not at all. You wouldn't know. Anyway, so Josh, your thoughts on what Coach said there, and how you prep. I mean, and you'll hear a couple more little comments coming up. They're prepping in 80-degree weather here in L.A. for 15 degrees, so it's a little weird.
Yeah, I mean, I would say what he told the reporter is pretty much the same message he tells the players. Because we had some cold games last year, and it's the same kind of deal where, like, just suck it up. Yeah. But what can we do about it anyway?
Yeah, you can't do anything. You got to play, right?
Matter. You can control what you can control, and I mean, really, that's what warm-ups are for. If you need to change your spikes and your shoes, if you're like a positional player, like, go ahead and see if you need to do that. Warm up catching the ball, warm up throwing the ball, warm up kicking the ball. I mean, you'll figure it out in that window. But other than that, shoot, it might change the play calling if it's based on weather, but it does that for both teams. And
exactly.
Just for me at least, like, it's a normal week of preparation. And then whatever the scenario is when I get out there, I figure it out from there. But
you deal with it when you deal with it, right?
Deal with it when I deal with it. But my mindset shouldn't really change unless there's a really, really slippery field, snowing pretty much. Unless it's snowing, I really shouldn't have to change anything.
Got it. Let's hear from Chris's favorite quarterback, Matthew Stafford, on the weather, and I asked him a couple of questions here.
Each game is kind of unique, right? You can't just bunch them all together. Played in Philly back in the day, there was 6 inches of snow on the ground. Played in other games where it's just cold and dry. You just got to go figure out what the elements are, how it's going to affect the ball, go play. We had wind last week. What's that like? How's the ball moving when you throw it down the field, all those kind of things. So you just kind of figure it out as you go. Each one is its own unique set of circumstances. I know that both teams are playing in it. You just go out there and execute the best you can. I know Sean and I will be in constant dialogue on, hey, how do we want to call this game? How do we want to get this thing going to give ourselves the best chance to go out there and be successful?
Matthew, some teams like to prep for cold with a colder situation. Does that matter to you at all? It's going to be in the 80s all week here.
I mean, we can't do anything about that.
You prefer this, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. We don't care what the weather is here, what it is there. Just go play. Got to prepare, have a good week of preparation. We're going to do that, to give ourselves the best chance to go out there and succeed. I feel like you're never out of the game until, clock's over or there's just obvious, not going to be enough time. But if there's time on the clock, feel great about it. And emotion is great. You score a touchdown, maybe you score another, whatever you need to get done. That emotion is great, but you got to go out there and execute. It doesn't matter if you score the first touchdown, everybody gets all fired up, and then you don't do anything else the rest of the day. So it's execution. You've seen their team. They've made plays really in all three phases to help them win those come from behind games. You got to give them a lot of credit. They've got a quarterback, a team, a coach that all they believe in each other, and as they should. They've proven it a bunch of times this year.
Matthew, as much as you'd like to win by 2 touchdowns every game, and the way you won the last game, is there something about hey, this is going to give us a different feel for we need to be really more on top of things 60 minutes.
The goal to, especially this time of year, but the goal in every game is to go find a way to win that football game. And, sometimes those things happen in, fashion where you don't need to do anything special in the fourth quarter. You got to go out there and hold on to the lead that you already got. But and sometimes you need to go make plays, late in the game to try and win it. So obviously we want to go out there and play as clean and as precise of football as we possibly can. Sometimes that doesn't happen throughout the game. I love that our team doesn't really ride those ebbs and flows. We just stay steady and understand that, hey, next drive, next play, whatever it is, and that's served us really well, and I think it will moving forward. Went on the road, scored 34 last week. Hope to go, play good on offense again, play good on defense, play good on special teams, and find a way to win.
Okay, and Chris, if you could not hear that, I assume you didn't. He kept talking about finding a way to win, and that's what the Rams did last week. By the way, Josh, what kind of a guy was Matthew to be around? Because to me, he is like the most open, regular guy for a guy who's been around as many years as I could ever hope for.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He is pretty much as steady as it gets. Doesn't really get too high, doesn't really get too low.
Right.
He's kind of just always chugging along, focused on the task at hand. And I felt like he's obviously a great leader in the locker room.
Yeah.
Everyone respects him tremendously.
Sure.
And I felt like he was kind of just like a big brother to everyone, because he's
Nice.
been around a lot longer than most of the guys in the locker room, and he's been and done pretty much everything, whether it's successful seasons, unsuccessful seasons, injuries. He's done everything. Super Bowls. So yeah, he's as great as a guy as it gets, though. And someone. The reason that he's having so much success in the last few years is because he's a great player, but a great leader that the team can rally behind.
He's a tough son of a bitch too. It
really is.
As a Lions fan, when he left Detroit, all Lions fans rooted for the best for him. It was very unusual in today's day and age.
Is that why they booed him when he returned?
Well, that was the
on his playoff game, right?
On his very first game, there was a mixed reaction. I think he was greeted with cheers, but I know his wife was hassled a little bit. But
I remember that.
But that wasn't really the people that did that were not the overwhelming majority by any means.
Those are your drunk losers that are out there every game anyway, right?
But
they were the overwhelming majority for the years. I'll tell you that.
What's that?
Sorry?
I said they were the overwhelming majority for the ears.
Who, the fans you talking about?
Yeah, the loudest. Those ones booing were the loudest.
Yeah, certainly once
audio when he returned in that playoff game and how loud the boos were when his name was called.
Oh well, yeah, you had to do that in the playoffs.
Right.
All bets are off at that point.
Yeah, they're not cheering. I don't give a damn who that guy is.
No,
he's giving him
$100. I'm pretty sure if Cooper Kupp comes back to L.A., he's not going to be booed in a playoff game.
Well, he did come back to L.A.
In a playoff game?
No, not in a playoff game. No,
he won't be booed. I'll tell you that.
No, probably not. But it's Detroit. It's not L.A. It's a different world over there.
Hey, it's not Philadelphia. Give us a break.
Yeah, at least nobody threw any frozen batteries at him or something.
Well, let's just hope he gets that MVP, because I've got that MVP ticket. I've got a handful of those, and
good. How early did you get that one in?
Late, but at a great price, plus 300. So
now is he the heavy favorite now, or is it 1A, 1B?
No, he's a pretty significant favorite.
Okay, good for you.
But the concern with Stafford here is that he started off the year with 12 TDs and 2 interceptions, and he ended the year with 7 interceptions over the last 7 games, and he also had 7 fumbles on the year. So he's facing the number 1 team for takeaways.
Yeah.
I'm
pretty sure he started a good bit better than that too, because he had a streak of 28 touchdowns without an interception.
Yeah, exactly. He did have.
No, yeah. Just the last 7 games kind of, hit him hard.
Yeah, a couple of small injuries in there too, though, right? and he had the index finger thing last week, which, by the way, he told us yesterday he's fine. He's not even going to be wearing a bandage. He's good.
Good. So
That shouldn't even be an issue.
I believe the Bears are missing their left tackle. They've got another key injury from last week. The Rams have had one of the worst defenses in the league over the last 6 or 7 games. We know the Bears' defense is atrocious. I was looking for scoring in this game. So, it's going to be cold. It's going to be cold. And the wind is what's, but the cold isn't the problem with the scoring. It's the wind. So, and it is supposed to be about 15-mile-an-hour wind. So the total has come down from, it was up to like 52 or 51, and now it's down as low as 48. So,
wow, that is a lot.
But I still look for there to be scoring in the game some way, somehow, because I just think that the defenses are just too vulnerable.
Yep. Well, let's hear from one of my favorite guys in the league now. I got a couple of questions into him yesterday. And quick thought, Josh, on Davante Adams and what he brought to this club this year.
Oh, he's an amazing human being.
Isn't he a great guy?
Yeah. I obviously knew of him before we got him, but did not expect him to be just such a high caliber human being.
Yeah,
super, super smart. Even more competitive. Like literally everything he was doing, it was just like always trying to compete with the guys and something small. And he's just another guy. He's been around for a while. Obviously, he's had a lot of success and for good reason. I mean, he's extremely what's the word? He's extremely coordinated. Sorry, I don't know.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Calibrated. He's like,
and even at this stage of his career, it's like he's not as fast or as quick as he used to be, and almost like he doesn't need to be.
He's just so coordinated. He's the most coordinated individual I've ever
Well, that's
seen.
interesting. I've never heard that before. That's very interesting. All right, let's hear from Davante from yesterday.
Davante, you're a Green Bay guy for so long. Now you're going into this cold. Is there anything you can tell the guys that maybe that they don't about playing in these conditions?
Not really. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, it's going to be cold. Different people got tricks of the trade, but I just go out there. I've never worn sleeves in a game in my career, so it is what it is. It's going to be freezing out there, but you just got to figure it out.
Bring it on.
Correct.
Davante, many years as you've been in the playoffs over the career, and then the last few not. Are you feeling this is like, wow, this is almost like a gift from heaven, almost? Like, here's a chance to really have some blast, right?
Well, it's all a gift from heaven, either way.
Yes.
We get to play a kid's game.
Yes.
A king's ransom. So at the end of the day, I'm grateful for all the opportunities, but definitely being exposed to, just kind of getting in, and it's just a part of the normal routine. You have a greater appreciation at this point for how difficult it is to win, any game, let alone still be winning at this point in the season. So I'm fired up about another opportunity to play in the playoffs.
How great is that? He called it a golden opportunity to play. It's from heaven, and you get to play a kid's game at a king's ransom. Isn't that nicely put there, Josh?
Yeah, I don't know if he coined that term, but it was pretty nice.
It says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And by the way, if you couldn't hear it again, Chris, I assume he said he's never worn sleeves in any game in his career, and that's including whatever the hell he played at Lambeau. I didn't know that. That's crazy. He needs a big hug.
It is a concern for me that they were, practicing in L.A. yesterday. I think
wasn't a concern for any of them. I talked to like 8 guys, and they were laughing about it. They said, we don't care. And a lot of those guys, remember, they might be playing in L.A., but a lot of them have played at Michigan or whatever. They've been in all kinds of cold conditions.
And you also got to know, even if they were going to have any reservations, they wouldn't tell you anyway.
Yeah, of course not.
That's true.
I don't know whether you know this or not, but the Bears broke the record for winning 7 games while trailing within the final 2 minutes.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. But they're also 2-6 when under 2 takeaways in a game this season. That's an interest. You better get the takeaways, boys, because that makes up for the defense that's not doing what they need to do.
Absolutely.
I think that's a huge stat. One last guy before we wrap this sucker up. Kobe Turner, another good guy. He's really fun to talk to. Did you get a chance to talk to him much privately, Josh?
Oh yeah, no, he's a great guy.
Isn't he
really
great?
fun, really talented in a lot of mysterious ways.
Mysterious ways. Okay, I'm not going to ask. It's not my business. Let's hear from Kobe.
Yeah, that means being able to close out the game. Honestly, I think it's poetic in a way. That's been one of our struggles early on in the year. When you look at a lot of the games, we were able to get up early on people, and then we weren't able to finish off the deal. So I think really last week was a step in the right direction. Right, we had all of the momentum. We gave them a lot of momentum back heading into the half, but we were able to figure out a way to finish the game. And I think that's the direction that we're going to have to trend. And I definitely think that this is the next step to be able to go and put together a complete game, to be able to go and end out a game versus a team that's been really, really good in the fourth quarter, really good in the third quarter as well. So I think that's going to be huge and critical for us to be able to just finish out the game, close it out, and be able to continue to impose our will for all 60 minutes, not just 30, not just 15. I think everyone sees his escapability. We were able to feel that last year too. There was a snap where I had a really good rush move. He's in the pocket, still makes me miss. But yeah, I think he continues to find ways to will his team to win. Whether that be him being able to extend plays and scramble to pick up first downs, or whether that be him being able to extend plays, nobody's out there with him, he's able to use whatever arm angle to be able to pick up conversions as well. So that's going to be a big challenge to be able to get him on the ground. Obviously, so much of the offense runs through him. I think he holds the ball the longest in the league, but the reason why he's able to do that is because of his escapability. So that's going to be a huge piece of being able to mitigate that, and really that's where so much of their explosives come from. Obviously they have a really good running game as well, but so much of their explosive also comes from Caleb being able to extend plays, and so if we're able to keep them from being able to do that, then that's going to be a big help on our defense. I have the ultimate confidence in our guys. I've said it for a while, but I truly believe when we play our game and when we play our solid ball, I don't believe anybody can beat us. I think we have to go out, and it's always a matter of how can we be at our very best. And when we're at our best, I don't know that there's anybody that can stop us. So that's going to be what it's going to continue to be about. Obviously, we're playing another team, and they have a say, and they have really good pieces like we were just talking about with Caleb Williams. Obviously, they're running backs. They have good skill. They have a good O-line as well. So defensively, there's going to be a lot. And on the offensive side of the ball, obviously, I'm not there, but I know that there's a lot of challenges that they present as well. And so, I think it does, at the end of the day, come down to us being the best versions of ourselves, us going out there and playing our type of ball, our solid ball. And we do that, and we'll be just fine. But that's going to be the challenge, right, to be able to sustain our best ball for 6.
Okay, so that's Kobe Turner, and talk about a well-spoken guy. Josh? I mean, this guy, that's why we in the media love to go to him, because he's like, he could tell the whole story by himself.
You don't even need to ask any questions.
Well, I edited out the questions just to tighten.
Yeah, I know.
I love that.
Those are some good answers.
No, but he is he like that in the room too? Is he an outspoken guy?
Yeah, I mean, his artistic abilities, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
He was on The Masked Singer, that show.
I've heard a little bit. I don't know.
Oh, really? Wow.
Tell us, what do you know that you can tell us?
Oh, he was Goo from last year, or this past OTAs, I believe. He made it to like the final 4 in The Masked Singer, which is basically, I've never watched it, but it's
yeah, me neither. That's why I saw it online, but I didn't pay attention.
America's Got Talent, but like only with singing. And I think the premise of the show is that they hide all your physique and looks so that none of it's biased for your voice. And so he is dressed up in a big green huge costume, and
that's what I saw. I think there's something on Twitter about that.
Oh yeah, no, it was a pretty popular news.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, he's really musical, pretty talented, very talented.
I gotta get him on my show, on my other show sometime.
Yeah, and he's also always solving a Rubik's Cube too.
Okay. Yeah, he's obviously a very bright guy, and I love his attitude too. He just walks around like, hey, this is great. I'm playing pro football. What do you guys want to talk about? You know?
Yeah, I do think he has the most fun out of anyone in that locker.
Interesting. Okay.
And that's hard for me to describe why I feel that way, but just the personality that he brings to the
Right.
locker room.
Okay, I got it. Any thoughts on the spread finally there, Chris, that we're looking at to wrap this sucker up?
Oh, I want to give Josh a pat on the back because he pointed out, because I misread. I'm working at a deficit here off a tiny phone with my internet issues, but he had 2 interceptions in the first 12 games. So that's what Josh was basically referring to.
Pretty sure it was about 30 or 31 touchdowns to go with that.
Yeah. So I misspoke, and it's impressive that Josh was able to pull that out of a hat and knew that. And
well, he's a Stanford guy. He pulls everything out of a hat.
I was there.
And he was there too. Yeah, I guess that helps.
It does. So
that's great. Okay, so final thing on the spread there. What do you think? Value anywhere, Chris?
Yeah. It's right on my number. So I do have some wagers teasing the Raiders plus 3.5. I did tease the over 38.
You said the Raiders, so I'm a little concerned.
The Rams, I'm sorry.
Okay. That's all right.
But no strong conviction. I do believe the Rams are going to come away with the win. I just think you're asking a lot of the Bears and their defense to hold up. The Rams, they've got a lot of character guys. They've got experienced coaching. And I think even though Caleb was played a fair amount of games down to the wire recently, and they've got those 7 coming from behind wins.
Right.
I just think that the Rams have a little bit more fortitude, and they will be able to pull out a close victory.
Yeah, I agree. And, I'm looking at this game. If the Bears are down by 18 going into the fourth quarter, just bet on them. Who cares what the final score is, right?
Well, I saw a stat that the league had hundreds of games with teams trailing by double digits with 5 minutes to go.
Yeah.
There was only 3 teams that came back and won, and the Bears finished 3-3 or won 3 games in that situation. So
interesting.
As many as the rest of the league. So
that's one of the things that I brought up with a couple of the other guys I mentioned earlier. I've got interviews on my YouTube channel and TikTok at Ted Sobel Sports, talking to Coleman Shelton, the Rams center, the DBs, Kobe Durant and Cam Curl, and the right guard, Kevin Dotson. And I brought up some of that. Hey, the Bears, it's whatever they are, they're the most confident team in the world right now. That may not be enough, but they think they can't lose. And that's a nice advantage to have, don't you think, Josh?
Oh, yeah. It means you kind of never give up, keep trying. And especially when you see kind of teams get on the sideline pretty down on themselves, that probably won't happen with them.
Yeah, that's a good point. By the way, quick question here from one of our viewers, our regular birdie here. What do you think of this, Josh? Talk about how the Colt potentially could deal with a hamstring injury.
Who's hamstring?
I don't know who he was talking about. I'm not sure because I know that
probably Devontae.
Kevin Dotson has a lower leg injury. I don't know who has the hamstring.
It's probably Devontae who's coming off of that hamstring injury.
Yeah, but he's been okay. He said he's perfect now. So I don't know. But what do you think?
Those things linger though.
Yeah, but he also took 3 weeks off, and then they had and he didn't play at all. And then he ran and played last. He looked good, and he said he feels fantastic. So.
Yeah, I in general, I mean, you're more likely to tear a muscle in the cold than in the warm. I remember I pulled a groin playing soccer in like 30-degree weather when I didn't warm up when I was like 10 years old. So that didn't happen whenever it was 80 degrees outside. That's why you never see a cheetah stretch. But if they live in the cold, it happen. But yeah, I mean, a guy like him, if that's who we're talking about, but anybody, they'll know their bodies and how to warm up, and it's about your internal body temperature, I'm pretty sure. So keep yourself warmed up and be smart about it, I would say.
Okay, we're running. Yeah, go ahead.
So one quick question: all things equal, I would imagine you would select a team with a dome rather than an outside. But if it was between grass and turf,
play
is
for?
that a consideration to play for?
No, I don't really have a preference, unless the grass is really, really shitty. I mean, if it's like half mud and half sand,
Yeah, right.
then obviously I prefer turf. But if it's, you know, a good grass field and a good turf field, I don't really care either way.
Just sign me, baby, and I'll kick for you.
Oh yeah, exactly. Remember, I'm signed. I have.
I know.
in place and
Have a great year next year. Looking forward to some great kicking from you. We'll be rooting for you.
And we're going to wrap this up by just saying we didn't have enough time because we went way too long today. The head coaching situations. Any real quick thoughts at all, Josh, on this? You know, just the fact there were 9 changes, and it looked like there were only going to be maybe 5 or 6 at the beginning, and all of a sudden, boom, this happened. I mean, welcome to pro football, right?
Yeah, no, I'm
including
taking,
your coach in Arizona.
No, the Cardinals one. That's my team, so that's most relevant to me. But in my one of my classes right now at the Graduate School of Business here at Stanford, sports management, we were actually about sports business management. So we were actually talking about all these headlines. Because you went on ESPN on the Monday after the season, it was like 6 headlines in a row of, you know, so and so coach fired, GM stays, or coach fired, GM stays, coach fired, GM also fired, something like that. And just how about, you know, a couple decades ago, that was really never the case, to have so many coaches and GMs even on such a short leash.
Yeah, it is crazy what's going on. And Chris sent me this today, which is really fascinating. And I agree with most of it, that Brian Flores is the favorite at 3 different of those openings. Apparently, he's learned his lesson from when he was all over the guys and when he was in Miami some years back. And I think he's the best fit in Baltimore, Chris. I really think he's perfect for the way their history and their tradition is. I think he would be totally perfect for that. What do you think?
No, I agree.
I mean, he's got Ravens written all over. Yeah,
John. I'm gonna sound like a nerd here, but how can Brian Flores have over 100% chance of being a coach total?
No. That's for each team individually. That he's favored.
So saying he has a 44% chance to be the next Steelers coach.
That's what. Yeah, I don't know where they came up with this.
He also has a 42% chance to be the Raiders coach, and a 25% chance to be the Ravens coach.
I think that's compared to the opposition. Who else is leading?
There's a betting market for each individual team. So it's basically indicating that if he doesn't go to one team, then he'll go to this team. And
what I'm saying is, I'm pretty sure, since all those percentages add up to like 111.
Yeah, but they're all individual markets.
Yeah, they're all for individual teams. That's why.
Right, but if you bet against him everywhere, you'll probably make money.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, that's interesting. Is that actually available, Chris, somewhere?
Well,
like to bet on Brian Flores anywhere?
Yeah, but you'd have to bet you'd have to bet all of the other choices, and then even then, you are not guaranteed to win, because it could, if a coach that's not on the list becomes the coach, then you wouldn't win.
But what I'm saying is, Brian Flores can't actually have a 44% chance of being one of these 3 percentages is wrong. It's too high, because they can't be above 100. They just can't.
But they're all individual markets, unrelated to each other.
Yeah, it's 44% chance in Pittsburgh. It's 53% chance in Atlanta.
Right. I know it's what the bettors think or whatever, but I'm saying is, like, if all of them said 90% chance, right? Then obviously a couple of those are wrong, right?
Sure.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Absolutely.
Because those are even though it's different markets, you can't have 90 people betting 90% chance he's going to be the coach at one place and another place and another place.
Yeah, I get it.
No, you're right. But
you're right.
But the problem is you can't bet the no on every one of those teams, because there's a reasonable likelihood that somebody that's not even being bet on at all, that you can't bet, would win that coaching job. So then that way you would have lost.
If you bet the second favorite at each team, you'd probably have a higher expected value than losing money.
In theory,
you probably have an expected value of winning money, I would say.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I'm thinking just off the top of my head, Chris, because I think Flores is going to get one of those jobs. If you could bet him 3 times on those 3 teams, you're probably going to do pretty well, right?
I don't think you would.
No.
That's the opposite.
Just the opposite.
I don't think he's going to be that heavy a favorite in as far as the odds go. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
You got to think, if you bet, for example, the 44%, you bet all 3 of them.
Yeah.
You're going to win, half your money back for one of them, and then you're going to lose half your money for almost the other 2.
Yep.
So you're like guaranteed to lose money if you do that.
And what happens if he goes to the Cardinals? He's not. So
I'm saying, even if he is hired at one of those places,
right? No, I get it. I think Chris needs to hire you as a financial advisor, to be honest with you.
My NFL career.
Not me.
That's what I see. If I could bet, I would probably bet against him on all 3 of those places, because the expected values that you might win.
You're going to win at least 2 out of 3, right?
We don't know anything, because there could be a dark horse.
No. I mean, he can't get 2 jobs, so you're going to win 2 out of 3.
I'm saying betting against him winning, not betting on him winning.
Oh, against him. Okay, I got it.
My phone is dying. I have 1% power, so
take a hint.
Cheers.
See you next week.
Okay.
Thanks again. I appreciate it. And
thanks, Josh.
Thank you, guys.
No, I appreciate it. And Josh, it was fun to have you on, man. Really a lot of fun.
Sure. Appreciate it.
Okay, we'll talk soon. All right. And what's your homework assignment this week?
I had a couple.
What's the hardest one?
I'll have to go walk around in a city for 2 hours and then write a 2-page paper.
Oh, that's part of the homework? Is you have to walk?
Yes.
Ooh, that's interesting. Enjoy your walk, sir.
Thank you.
All right, enjoy the weekend. Divisional playoffs, everybody. We're done. Out of here.